Okay, so in the last problem I forgot to submit it, but everything was well, so there was no problem. So the next problem is customer who visited but did not make any transaction. Let's see. We have two tables. First is visited. Okay, visit ID and customer ID. Great. We have transactions, transaction ID, visit ID amount. Okay, visit ID is common. Great. Okay, let's read the question form. We'll try to look at the table again in a better way. We have visit ID, customer ID, transaction ID, visit ID amount. Okay, visit ID. अच्छा 555 अच्छा visit ID fix which visit multiple transactions and this is not any transaction. What is going for customer ID and count of number of transaction, customer ID and count the number of transaction. Let's see how it can solve this. We have to use group by here. Okay, just let me write something. Let's write something. Let's see. And what is question asking? That is question to find the IDs of the users. ID of the user means we need user ID. Sorry, customer ID. Great, customer ID. Who is without making any transaction. Who is without making any transactions, and the number of times they visited on these daily visits, on these type of visits, means they haven't made any transaction. Okay, means there won't be any transaction ID for those customers. Now we are getting conditions. So this is getting a bit interesting. Okay, let's just start. So select, give me everything first. Select asterisks uh, from from the table visits as A. From itna we will do left join again. Think again why I'm doing so. Visits transactions has B. Okay, now on A dot we have to this join on visit ID. So we are doing visit ID B dot visit ID. Okay, we are joining on visit ID. Now what we can do? Okay, let's just try to write what we're getting, and we have to see a condition. We have to give only those customer IDs where transaction ID is null because there is no transaction ID. We just confirm it. I'm actually doing so. So okay, we have visit ID of 5512. 512. So we're using 30, 512, 30 and bottom 3. 54, 30, 96. I'm getting things strong. 1 and 2, 30 and 96. And then let's treat a question again. Okay, we have same visit ID, and what's the question asking? Find the IDs of the users who visited without making any transaction. Okay, let me just run it. I will think after getting nulls, things will look better. It will be better to interpret test or transaction doesn't. I made some mistake. Transactions. Oh, this is the mistake. This made provided. You don't need to. Okay, this is what I was looking for. This is the main thing I was looking for. Yeah, things are much clear. So what we are saying, this I want table. So what we can actually do, like let's say we have a huge data set and we can't actually go for every time to chase, see what our result is coming. We can work on samples. We can work on samples and then we can uh, like apply the same logic or code to the entire data set. So that's what we do in basically in machine learning a lot of times. So yeah, there's not a problem like making some writing queries and looking at how what's the output and changing it, like building from step 1 from step 0. So it's not a problem. Okay, so I does solution to find ID. Find the ID of the users who visited without making any transactions. Okay, this part. So this see na, we got this from looking at the table. You get confused when you just do in the mind. So see here, we are getting nulls in the transaction ID where we are getting for 30, 30 we are getting for 1, we are getting for 96, 96 we are getting 1, 54 we are getting 2. Okay, so we need only these two columns first. So we just try to filter it. So and in A we have customer ID. So we will try to just get first these two. A dot, we look for customer ID, comma B dot transaction ID. Let me just run these two and let me just give for more conditions where where B dot transaction ID is null, where B dot transaction ID is null. Let's try to run it. Okay, where will run or not? Okay, can we do where? Let me just comment this part because there's a thing that we are using having. Actually, having works the problem in group by. Okay, there's a different kind of problem. So let's see what we are getting. So step by step. Okay, we got only two columns. What we expected. Let's do this. It's not a problem. If we're using when we use group by, then there's problem of using where. We have to use having. So that's another concept we will learn later. See, we are very much closer. See, we are getting closer, step by step. So and now what we need to do is one thing we can do is use group by. Should we use group by? And I have to think of this part here. Should we use group by? Should we use group by now? Let's try. Let's see what we can do. See, can we do without using group by? What aggregating? Can we do without aggregating? And okay, let me just yes use count here, but can we do so? Okay, let me just check it. Let me just save it. So if we fall back, we don't have any issue. Like we need to come here again. Okay, let me just go for count. Count is aggregate function. So count will be an issue here. We can't do simply count like this. We need to group by this. Okay, let me just try grouping. Can we? How can we do this? Can we? Sorry. Okay, we'll use condition group by a dot customer. What I'm wrong. A dot customer ID. Take a dot customer ID having where we will get an issue. So let me just check. How do we use having? Control F having. We have having condition. Having is null. How will write it? Just see where will work or not. There are a lot of issues coming now. Okay, just let me run it. There must be getting error. Will we get error in where? I was getting an error in where. Can we use it before so you can avoid the error? Just check it. Oh wait, that's right. We don't get error. So I think it will be easier now, yeah, because I think we are very much closer. See, but still. Okay, we are going count on B dot customer ID, but we need count on E dot customer ID. So I will do it here as this. Okay, so I'll explain everything what I have done. So let me just type it out as count number transaction, whatever it is. Let me run it again. Accepted. So what group by does? Group by simply is aggregating. You see previously, like when I didn't use group by, let me just remove uncomment this, sorry, comment and comment. Let me run this part. See, what was the change here? The same answer is both. We can refer to any one. This one is same. Okay, let me just. Are they different? No, they are exactly same. But the order is different, and the order doesn't matter in our case. Okay, so what's the difference? See, here there is 30. 30 we need 30 for one. In 96 we need 96 for one. We need 54. 54 two. We need count of these. Can you imagine this? Like we are trying to aggregate. We called it aggregate function basically. You will see it here also. Let me just see what the name. Basic aggregate function. You will learn it here. Okay. So we'll, it's not something difficult or something. We use really group by to aggregate this, and we use group by. See, how I have done this. I have used group by on this customer ID, the first column, group by on first column, and there is a condition I used it before, the same. Okay, and we have used the second column as count of the customer ID, like how many count of this, and as I have renamed this. Okay, I will tell more details later. And where I was a bit confused of using where and having, so you will find the use of having later on. Okay, so let's just submit it. Submit it. Okay, can we go for some better questions on this? Can we find some questions? Oh, there are a lot of questions here. A lot of questions we can make on this. They're the same. Instead of giving me the sum of transactions, like number of transactions, instead of number of transaction, instead of number of transactions, uh, give me the okay. We change the question. Give me the total amount of transactions made by transactions made by. Give me the total amount of transactions made by the customers, each customer. Obviously who customer who will visit will only make the itna total transaction itna, ठीक है, and rest you can just leave those who didn't visit, like the case we are dealing with nulls ones, didn't visit, make them 0, keep their name, make them 0. Try to think this, how will you solve this? Okay, can we go for more questions? Okay, let me just try to think of something better. Give me also max. We can do the maximum transaction made by visit ID is each customer. Give me the max transaction made by each customer. Same, this is also concept of group by. You will learn, we'll discuss this later. As we are solving problems now, you find all these concepts. So don't worry if you are finding it difficult, because the more we solve, the more you find it better. Okay, just try to solve this. If you can't solve it, just try to Google or find a ways how you can handle this. Okay. So okay, let's stop it here on this question. We will try solve the next problem, which will be rising temperature.